And we're back. All right, Dave, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. And let's start with a RIP to Nintendo Wii U, and Nintendo 3DS eShops. We knew they were coming to an end. We just didn't know when. And they stopped payments, but you could still put money on like a card or something, right? Like you can always add funds. Now you can add funds to your wallet.
Right.
And starting on the 29th, next month, you would no longer be able to add funds. And March 27th of next year, you'll no longer be able to download any purchase. So it would be a complete shutdown of those eShops. So if you bought anything, download them now. You have a year. You have a little less than a year to download them to your system or a hard drive
or whatnot.
Yeah, and if you need to buy anything, you can add funds to your wallet for the next month, and
then that's it. Yeah.
And that's it. So I will say this: I did buy a bunch of games where you could still use a credit card. I did buy a bunch of games, old games. I brought like old games like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that because I want to play them on using the Wii Pro controller on the big screen. So I did buy those. I bought a bunch of games and they're downloaded already. I think there's some other games. I think there were like some SNES games or some Game Boy Advance games I wanted to purchase, so I may look into that. I do have to boot up my 3DS because I know I did buy some Castlevania games way back in the day.
Oh,
when we first started the show, right before I even owned those games, I wanted to play a bunch. Those Castlevania. Right. Those games are expensive.
They are, yeah, especially if you want them complete in box. They're very expensive, even like loose.
So I have to go back.
Nintendo Switch Online though.
Yeah, but I own them, so.
Well, do you really though? I mean, this is the conversation we had last week.
The digital future. Well, you know what? Put it this way: if I could still download them and have access to it on my 3DS, then you know what? I own them digitally. So I'm going to download them and have them just so I can have, because you never know when I want to play them, on the go or the way, with the 3D, with the 3DS, because I know. Yeah, no, you're right. They are on the Switch Online.
Yeah. And also in the most recent Castlevania collection, if you own that. But that's
true.
Actually, you can get that digitally too. You don't necessarily need a physical for that. A couple things I'll say. One, they've given the fans, consumers, enough lead up time, which is good. You get 9 months to download your stuff again, which is good. If anybody's going to want to do it, that's enough time. I appreciate that because not everybody gives you a big enough lead up time. The one thing that I would say about all of this, because we talked about it last week, digital future, and you don't really own your stuff, and whatever else, and it becomes apparent.
Sucks.
Yeah,
sucks.
It becomes apparent every time something shuts down, right? Oh, I can't.
Or something gets delisted. Something gets delisted.
Right. Now. I don't think I ever downloaded anything digitally on the 3DS, but you don't need to authenticate any of your purchases, right? Once you download it, that's it.
I believe that's true. It's been a while, so I can't really confirm that.
Because I know on the Switch you do. You have to do it every 7 days or whatever to make sure you have whatever license it is before it expires. I talked about that story last week. So that being said, if the 3DS doesn't have that, that's great. I don't think the Switch should have that either, but that's another story. For games that are on both the Wii U, 3DS, the Switch, whatever it is, I think, and not just Nintendo, I think all game companies should give you the ability to download it on the new service. I don't think it's fair
if it's on there.
Well, of course. I mean, if they didn't do the work to port the game, there's not much you can really do. But if there's Super Mario World, right? If there's the greatest game of all time, right? According to Dan, and he wants to play it on his Switch, you already made the purchase. It's the same exact game. I would say it would be good to do that. I mean, the fans would be over the moon about that, right? My purchases will carry over, Come on.
I would say I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
But from a company standpoint, you know how they would get around that rule, right? You know how I tell you exactly how they'll get around that rule. right? They'll shut it down months or a year before it comes to the new console system. All right.
Oh,
So,
well,
so
that shouldn't matter. You still made the
uh,
purchase, right? It's on your account.
oh, no, we don't have a record of it anymore. We shut that down. That's all done. It's
Well,
gone.
no. I'm saying the company. I'm asking for the company to be responsible and customer forward. All right. I'm
Gotcha.
saying do the right thing, right? You know, be like Spike Lee, right? Come on.